you drive a Challenger or a Charger, you're probably a little ignorant, or a lotto. Here's why. Also, I really love watching you guys argue in the comments, so keep that going. And I'm also talking about the Takeover kids and the ones that like to cut up in traffic, not the ones that actually build their cars. When it comes to racing cars and making it a fair race, saying it's twin turboed and that it's V8. Boy, if you don't... None of that matters. When it comes to racing and making it a fair race, you don't compare engine sizes or say it's twin turboed. None of that matters. They have big V8s and V12s that make little to no power, and then have four bangers that make almost all the power. Horsepower is only part of the equation. I don't really care for talking about drag racing here much, but let me give you an example. Imagine a Trackhawk and a Hellcat line up at a red light. They have the same specs mostly and both are stock. Jeep is all-wheel drive and is a little bit heavier. So what happens in this drag race? Without even visually seeing the race, if it's an 8th mod that they're racing for, we know that the Jeep launches harder and will win. Why? Well, it's all-wheel drive. It's hard to break traction with all-wheel drive. It has instant grip to all four wheels. The Hellcat was spun because all 656 pound-feet of torque are going to the rear wheels only. It's hard to keep traction with that much power on an unprepped surface. Okay, let's say it's a quarter mile now. The Hellcat will reel in the Trackhawk towards the end because after a certain speed, the weight of the vehicle starts to factor in. Same thing goes for a road race. Depending if the car gets traction or not, the all-wheel drive might take off first, but in the end, horsepower will rule. What does that mean? Well, remember how both vehicles have the same engine? That means same horsepower, but the Jeep is heavier. In layman's, the lighter car will always win because the power to weight ratio. This same rule is the reason why 300 to 400 wheel horsepower Civics can keep up or beat Hellcats. The Civic weighs less than half of the weight of the Hellcat. And the mod for mod argument doesn't work here either. Depending on who you're talking to, they can claim that the 6.2 already comes built from the factory because it has similarities between the 5.7 and the 6.4 motors. You're essentially buying a modded car. A few other things can factor in, including transmission speed, like how fast it can shift, and also the gearing, but we'll talk about that in a different video. Challengers and Chargers are heavy for their class, and I can respect that they're powerful machines, but in essence, that's all they are. And hey, maybe that's all you want, and that's your preference. All I'm saying is you're missing out. There's so much more to cars than just straight line performance. And this goes for the new BMW owners and the Altima and Accord Sport drivers too. Learn what an Apex is. Learn how to drive a manual. Learn throttle control. Then you'll start to experience true driving. Luckily, that's what I'm here for, and I'm here to teach you guys how to have fun with cars without ruining the car culture for everybody else. This is the Drivers Club. Follow for more.